Introducing ISA C8X.
Hello, Allan.
Oh, hi, Matt.
Hello.
Hi, Sonicstate.
Yes. You
yeah.
right?
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's nice to be in Bungalow Dorf once again.
Yeah.
Absolutely love this place. It's, I mean, what's not to like?
It's your second home. You're always down here when we come to Superbooth.
I know, I love it. I mean, this year we have our old cabin back, but we have dope for his neighbours. So you know what's not to like?
Yeah. So I just thought we'd have a quick chat. I know you haven't got anything new coming out at the moment.
No.
But I mean, your range it's vast.
Yeah.
And it really has grown, and it's been brilliant watching the range grow over the years with new things coming out. Yeah. Because it really gets, we get a feel for you as like an inventor as to what this range is about.
Yeah, I mean, it's my hobby, I just do this. I do this stuff for fun, and thankfully other people like it too. So it works for everyone. But we've got 3 or 4 new products that are in development. Nothing was far enough on that I really wanted to bring it here today. But certainly watch this space, because we have got some cool stuff will be coming out soon.
Wicked.
Yeah.
But we have got this, which is called the Radiophonic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of everything, including the kitchen sink in there. It was, as you're probably aware, it was this was commissioned. The original Radiophonic was commissioned by Hans Zimmer, and we had it at Superbooth a couple of years ago now, and it was built specifically for Hans and the as part of his new vision for the new Radiophonic Workshop at Maida Vale Studios, and he came with a very open brief and just said, make me a very nice analog modular system, and this is what we ended up with. So I mean, it's good to have it at Superbooth, because it has virtually all of our modules in it.
Yeah.
And this is an opportunity. The reason we're here is just so that people can come along, look at it, have a play with it, have a talk with us, and throw all of your questions at us. And it's just a really great opportunity for everyone. And it's great to see people that have some of our modules, or want some of our modules, or have an interest in them, and just to show them what it's all about.
Brilliant. Very quick rundown.
Yeah.
So we've got over here oscillator lamps.
That's right. Well, this is this kind of area here is our Minimoog system, which was the first product, which was the original Minimoog Model D, the very early oscillator version. In Eurorack. So we were the company that made it available in Eurorack when the Minimoog was a legacy product that Moog didn't have any plans for the future for it. And
how close are they, those oscillators?
Oh, they're pretty damn close.
Yeah, I mean, I've had them. I think I still got one actually.
Yeah.
And they sound amazing.
Yeah.
And,
I mean that really is the audio path.
Yeah.
And that's why Hans Zimmer, Hans got one of our systems just after we launched it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And he emailed me at the time and just said, finally, I've got Eurorack modules that sound like the real thing.
Yeah.
They actually sound like vintage synths for the first time.
Yeah.
And that's what the thinking was, that if you get the audio path right. I mean, any engineer will tell you that if you've got a poor signal path, no matter what post processing you do with it, if it isn't there, you're not going to get it back.
Yeah.
So start with the best, and that's where we came from with the modular, and so it started with the Minimoog system, which was the glide noise oscillators.
Yeah.
Then we have the transistor ladder filter.
Yeah.
And then we have the VCA. So that's our analog signal path, and then we have the contour generators, which were the envelopes from the original Model D, and that was the basic system. And with the Radiophonic, Hans's idea was that we could have 2 stereo voices and lots of processing.
Oh, okay.
Because obviously he writes for He writes for cinema, and in the cinemas the speakers are wide, many feet apart.
Yeah.
You've got this big stereo field, and his idea was to fill that.
Yeah.
Which is why we have 2 ladder filters and 2 diode ladder filters, so it can be configured as 2 stereo voices.
Yeah, fantastic. I think one of my all-time favourites. Where is it? It's here. Sonic XV.
Yeah.
This is quite a special filter.
Yeah. Well, that came from the Muse Sonics Sonic 5, and which later became the Moog Sonic 6. Now the early Sonic 6s had that filter, which was the diode ladder filter.
Yeah.
And I think the reason was that originally Muse Sonics wanted to circumvent the Moog ladder filter patent, so the diode ladder filter got around that. But of course, once Moog took over Muse Sonics, or rather Muse Sonics took over Moog, then there wasn't any problem with licensing, and so the later Sonic 6s moved on to a transistor ladder filter. But they do sound quite different. I mean, very much more punchy, and it's EMS, it's synth territory with that one, really.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Your Swarm as well is a particular favourite of mine, as is Doom as well. The noise oscillator, noise oscillator.
It's a noise oscillator. Yeah, it's tune noise. I mean, that was something that just came out of one particular CMOS chip, which was the CD4070. And we use it, instead of using it as a digital chip, we actually use it as an analog noise generator.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. So can someone actually buy this as a system?
Yes,
as well. So
yes, it is available as a complete system.
Yeah.
And we have sold a number of them. It's probably not the cheapest synth at the
what is it retailing at?
It's £15,000. Including UK VAT,
including this lovely case.
Yeah. I mean the case, the handmade. It's American Walnut with cherry inserts.
Yeah, very nice.
Compound.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, it's great.
Pleasure.
Always great to catch up with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
and hopefully when we see next year, we might see some new.
There'll be something new.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Allan. Cheers.